Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, I've got to be completely honest and say that I never, in my wildest, most weirdest dreams, ever thought I would make a video about what I'm about to make a video about. You know, it is just so stunningly, jaw-droppingly astonishing that this is even a thing. You won't believe it either. The person involved is probably one of the singularly most toxic people in all of politics from any party. And how he thinks that he's going to get away with this is, like I say, it's astonishing. It's not going to work. This is dead on arrival. This is completely DOA. This is going to just shrivel in the sun and die. And that's fine, but the very fact that it's happening is truly astonishing. Now, have I teased it enough? Do you want to know what it is? Let's go in and have a look. But before I do, please hit the like button because you're going to like it. And hit the subscribe button because we really need the channel to grow and push and spread so we can bring you massively weird stories like this one. And no, it's genuinely true. It's not the 1st of April. It's just, what? Here goes. Dominic Cummings, yes, that Dominic Cummings, prepares to launch a new political party that will replace the Tories. Is he having a laugh? There is no way in hell that he will be able to do this. The only people who would ever sign up for this will be people who are just like Dominic Cummings, and they'd be absolutely desperate, or the mentally ill who really think that this is going to work. It's astonishing, isn't it? The Svengali-like, Barnard Castle-loving former number 10 advisor is hoping to make a huge political comeback. Now remember, he's never actually been a politician. Dominic Cummings is hoping for a political comeback in the form of a new anti-establishment party that may bring about the end of the Conservatives altogether. They keep saying this. Every few years, somebody launches a party and they say, this will be the end of the Tories. And you know the thing is, for 200 years, it hasn't been. Mr. Cummings, Boris Johnson's former Chief of Staff, has reportedly been organising a series of focus groups to find out whether the public would support the potential new party. I think the answer is no. And if you're paying people to go out there to do surveys and things, and they're coming back and convincing you that this is a thing, get your money back. Get it back quickly. He's been ruminating the new party since at least September last year, when he wrote about a need to build a start-up to replace the rotten Tories and win in 2028. At the time, the Tory source dismissed the threat as yet more mad ramblings from a narcissistic egomaniac who is thankfully becoming increasingly irrelevant. He was, wasn't he? He was like Malcolm Tucker, but without the charm, wit and personality. It appears the swipe hasn't put Mr. Cummings off his plan, however, as Politico reports this morning that the opinion testing focus groups are already up and running. Now, do you want this guy to be the leader of a party that you would vote for? He looks like... I tell you who he looks like. Who was the guy? James Burke. He looks like a younger, balder James Burke from the 60s doing the Apollo shots and the 70s on Tomorrow's World. But again, without the charm and wit. Like a very ill. That's what he is. He's a very ill James Burke. Anyway, the controversial advisor who ran and won the campaign to leave the EU in 2016 wrote last August about the need for a party focused on issues like cutting immigration, closing tax loopholes for the 1%, investing in public services and dramatically reforming the civil service. Now, I agree, all those things probably do need doing. But he's not the man. He cannot possibly be the man. He's not a politician. Nobody likes him. Everybody thinks he's a slimy, two-faced, creepy, dodgy second-hand car salesman type who would, steal your children's piggy bank money. Nobody trusts him. You can't anymore. He added that he would need to have a plan immediately after the exit polls are live on election night 2024 to divert energy and money away from how to revive the Tories into how to replace the Tories. Mr Cummings would also have to catch up with Reform UK, who similarly occupy space on the anti-establishment, anti-immigration right, and who are polling about 15%, and indeed are a major headache to the Tories. While Mr Cummings grew to hate Mr Johnson, he was more supportive of Rishi Sunak ahead of him becoming Prime Minister, and then, of course, had a falling out with him. It's funny, isn't it, how he falls out with everybody. Maybe he is the problem. Maybe he is the toxic one. Maybe he is the one that's completely out to lunch if he thinks he can start a party and attract people. No one who's a Tory will ever touch him. It's unbelievably mad, isn't it? Anyway, he says now that Mr Sunak has no grip on power. True. No governing plan. Also true. No message. Again, true. And no political strategy worth spit. Again, I have to agree with him. And I'm not saying he's wrong in what he's saying. But seriously, no. Just no. Not Dominic Cummings. He says the old system isn't getting any better than Sunak as PM, so what does this say about the system? Of today's news that his plans for a new party are in full swing, a senior Brexiteer Tory MP told the site, who would want to stand for election in his party? And answer came there none. The man is completely out to lunch if he thinks anyone is going to vote for a party that he's got anything at all to do with. I told you it was jaw-dropping. Are you thinking of voting for him? No, neither am I. Coming up. Seriously have to ask, how deep into his third bottle of whiskey was he when he came up with this idea? This is not the idea of a sober or sane mind. So either he's a complete lunatic or he's an absolute raging alcoholic. Because this is the sort of fever dream that comes from having a very ill-working mind. There is something wrong. Now let's put it down. Let's be kind and say he's not entirely bonkers, because he did work quite well at what he did behind the scenes. So he must be well into his cups when he came into this. No one in their right mind is going to follow this. This is a dead plan. It'll be amusing. It'll watch it crash and burn. And you have to look at the lunatics who'll say, oh yes, I'll fight for you, Mr Cummings. As they're standing there. Unbelievable. And it'll probably take them as well, because you're the only one, mate. Get it signed. Give me 30 quid. Whatever it'll be. Needs the money. These people are lunatics. They think all they have to do is announce there'll be a new party and everyone will rush to them. No. Dominic Cummings, you're dead. You're finished. You're done. Joe Biden would be a better leader than Dominic Cummings, and Joe Biden is mental. Anyway, we'll round off there. Do please hit the subscribe button. Screw YouTube and there, keep undoing people, unsubscribing them. And leave a message. Let me know exactly what you think about Dominic Cummings personally, as well as his chances of getting a party up and running, or even getting a single. Well, he'll get 2 votes, won't he? 2 votes. Anyway, stop there. Thank you very much. Take care. Goodbye.